After receiving requests for extra help on dividing polynomials using the generic rectangles, I thought that I would present a couple extra examples. One of the questions that particularly came up was about what to do with remainders. So we'll see that in one of the examples. So the first problem we're going to work on is dividing 2x cubed plus 5x squared plus 3x plus 2 by the quantity x plus 2. So we'll first start off by putting a place for our x plus 2. Now we know that in our first box of the first space of our generic rectangle we would have 2x cubed. So the first job is to figure out what do we multiply x by in order to get 2x cubed? Well, that would be 2x squared. So now what we do is take that 2x squared and multiply it by 2. And that will be 4x squared. Now we know that our x squareds need to add up to make 5x squared. So that's this box and the 4x squared. So we can do the math. 5x squared minus 4x squared, that's 1x squared. That's what we need here. So now, what do we multiply x by to make 1x squared? Well, we need another x. And so when we multiply for the lower box, we get 2x. Now for some more work here, we need to make these two boxes add to 3x. So that means we need another x because 2x plus 1x is 3x. Now if that's the case, then x times 1 will make x. So then 1 times 2 is 2. Now what we have to look at here is, again for the remainder, 2 plus this box must make 2. So that means we have a remainder of 0. So our final answer for this is 2x squared plus x plus 1. So for our next example, 4x cubed minus 5x squared plus 3x minus 2, we want to divide that by x minus 1. So we start off again with our space for our x minus 1. And I'll make a little place here. So we put our 4x cubed in the first box, and we're looking for what we multiply x by in order to make 4x cubed. Well, that would be 4x squared. So when we multiply 4x squared by negative 1, we get negative 4x squared. Now we need the negative 4x squared plus the other box to make negative 5x squared. So that means we need to fill in with another negative 1x squared. The work behind that is that negative 5x squared minus a negative 4x squared. That would equal, let's see, minus a negative becomes plus, so negative 5x squared plus 4x squared is negative 1x squared. Okay. So now x times what will make negative 1x squared? Well, that would be negative x. So negative x times negative 1 will be positive x. And now for our x term, we need to have 3x as our sum. So x plus 2x makes 3x, or 3x minus x is 2x. Okay. So now x times 2 will make 2x, and now we multiply the 2 times the negative 1, which is negative 2. And we need the two boxes, the two diagonals here, to add to negative 2. So we again have a remainder of 0. Apparently can't spell. Okay, so our final answer here is 4x squared minus x plus 2. Okay. And for our last example, 3x squared minus 11x plus 10, we want to divide that by x plus 3. So the setup starts off the same. We make space for the x minus 3, and we put our 3x squared in. And we get to work. X times 3x will make 3x squared. So 3x times negative 3 is negative 9x. We need the two boxes to add to negative 11x. So the missing link here is negative 2x. Just to remind you, negative 11x minus a negative 9x will be the same as negative 11x plus 9x, which is negative 2x. So now we go back to the box and we figure out what number goes on top. X times negative 2 will make negative 2x. And leaving our final box in the bottom to be negative 3 times negative 2, which is positive 6. We needed the two boxes to add to 10. So if we subtract 6 from 10, 10 minus 6, we get 4. That's the number that's going to go up here. We can't make x look like 4, so we leave it as that. Now the question happens, how do we write out our answer? So we take the 3x minus 2, that's the first part. Oh, sorry, we don't need the parenthesis. So we have 3x minus 2, and then our remainder is 4. So we have 4 left over, but that's 4 over what we divided by, which is x minus 3. And that is our final answer. If you have questions, please feel free to email me. Thank you.